Shalom Akim, the brother brothers that are up from GMS MainCamp. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Rukakodash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone, and blessings unto the sincere Akim, the hopeful elect one of 4 winds. Just a quick one, just got this off the intercept.com article basically on a new monetary or financial welfare system that these Edomites, so-called white men, these devils are setting up over there across the border, across the west. They've probably got in different states, but they're going to be pushing it out there in Chicago, predominantly for the Jakes out there, man. So Chicago may become the largest city in the US to try universal basic income. And why are they pushing that? Because that universal basic income is part of that RFID microchip financial system that these devils are going to incorporate into society, this cashless society that we're going into right now, as opposed to how crowned this year the year of prophecy, 2018, the year of prophecy. And also he's pushing to fear the chip, because we're in a time of these last major prophecies taking place, man, and these devils are putting everything together right now, man. They're about to put that final capstone, which is the mark of the beast system, which is the microchip system, out there in the open. And they're gonna, utilize certain financial structures to incorporate that, man. Make everything tight knitted and alternated, and it's gonna be spread worldwide, man, by different superpower countries that are in league right now. Like you got China, like if you saw the video that I posted to her, put up of those Chinese stores, supermarkets incorporating the RFID technology with the RFID tags that they got on their items, which you can use your phone app to buy and swipe and purchase goods. It's the same thing with this electronic monetary system that they're going to incorporate through the universal basic income for people to get easy access to their monies, man. And over here in London they call it universal basic income over there in Americas, but over here in England they call it the universal universal credit system, basically. And it's the same thing. They make payments, and it's particularly for the unemployed, mainly for Jakes, but it's for other nations also that are in the unemployment zone. And as I said, it gives easy access to funds on a monthly basis. And this is perfect for those in the time of the mark of the beast, when they push it, that they accept it, because they'll be able to get their so-called monies and funds from the government, man, and make it easier and convenient. So Chicago alderman mayor Pawar is worried about the future. So he's concerned that a coming wave of automation could put millions of people out of work, and result in move in more extreme politics. Which more extreme politics is that that mark of the beast system, man, because that's going to be on the tables in these coming months, in the next coming less than a year, so to speak, in these trying times that we're in right now, because we're going into the time of Jacob's trouble. So things are going to definitely get extreme, and extreme politics is definitely going to be upheld, through the government, because it's going to become very volatile, in the coming future, man. This is pointing to investments in autonomous vehicles by companies like Tesla, Amazon and Uber. Pawar observed that long-haul trucking jobs, historically a source of middle-class employment, may be obsolete. Yeah, man, because everything's going to be automated now. They're going to start, ESO's pushing that cyborg technology, this AI technology, to the forefront, and that RFID technology is part of it, because it's all about setting up that mapping grid of control, man, autonomous control. It says more people out of work means more political polarization, says Pawar. Says we have to start talking about race and class and geography, and that's what it basically that's a major part of this RFID chip system, because it's going to be class wars in these last coming days, and it's definitely about the races too, meaning they're going to particularly be aiming at you Jakes, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are in and around the Americas, especially the ones that are stuck in the ghettos, because that's predominantly where Jake is. But then you're going to have the other classes, so-called middle class, which here is no really middle class, but you've got them so-called whites, so-called Edomites that are, doing their thing, living it up, so to speak, and they're going to be part of that too. And they're different races that are in that melting pot of America, that cesspool of wickedness, man, in these last days. They're going to be put on that monetary grid too. The geography, man, cartography, learning of maps. This is all a plan to overtake and globalize this new RFID chip system, man. That's definitely the outcome. It says, but also start talking about the future of work as it relates to automation. It says all this stuff is intertwined. Yes, all intertwined. It says before leaving the race, after being outspent by 2 billion candidates campaigned for the Illinois Democratic Party's nomination for governor. Jump down. I'll read the last bit, and it says one of the themes of his candidacy was the politicians were scapegoating various racial or ethnic groups for their constituents, material problems. So anyway, let me jump down. It says, the British pit Hindus and Muslims against one another, says Power told The Intercept at the time, drawing on his Indian American heritage. So he's more than likely a Jake, and he's probably from the tribe of Gad. It says well, he might be, I don't know, I haven't seen his picture, but it says pit people against one another based on class and geography castes. So this is caste systems, man. That's definitely a part of this new monetary system, RFID chip system that they're trying to incorporate globally. This is a caste system, a new caste system. It says this is no different. It says Chicago versus downstate versus Chicago, black, white, brown against one another, all poor people fighting over scraps. It says Powell now believes that wave of mass automation will only compound this problem. Yeah, because unemployment status is staggering over there. It's reaching to different heights over there in America, man. The unemployment, especially with Jake, unemployment between Jakes and all that. Trump started to say it's all good and all that, but really, on a bigger scale, it's not looking too good, man. It's only going to get worse as they make all these jobs autonomous and all that, robotic, so to speak. It says UBI is based on a simple premise. People don't have enough money to provide for their essential needs, so why not just give them more? See, so it's it says an electronic payment basically through cards, but ultimately it's going to go from the cards to the RFID chip, man, which people are going to either take in their right hand or in their forehead, especially in the time of Jacob's trouble, when these devils come with that martial law, start pushing all these people into concentration camps to enforce that mark of the beast. That's what it's going to come down to, the hour of temptation, man. So a lot of Jakes are gonna they're gonna be willing, more than willing in that day, especially these women, because they're the kids and all that, because they have no faith in the Lord, they trust in the government, so-called white man. They're gonna go running to him, man, in that time, man. If it's just to get their daily supplies or whatever and monthly payments, they're gonna go running, man. Because to them, they put all their trust in Egypt, as the scripture says not to, man. Woe to them that put their trust in Egypt, which Egypt represents America right now, and their whole setup, their whole system, man. So I'm not going to read the whole article. I'll probably put in a description box for brothers to read up if you want to read the rest of it. I'm just going to jump to 1 or 2 scriptures and close out, man. But this is the time that we're in. The apostles aren't lying, man. This is why the Spirit's been on heavy on them for so long, to push the mark of the beast. to make it known that the mark of the beast system is real, man. You know, and that's the times that we're in. You know, these devils have been planning this for how many years, man? But now we're in that time where it's actually coming to pass before our eyes, man. You got Sweden over there mainly in Europe. You got Sweden that's incorporated that whole RFID chip system, cashless society. You know, with the travel, the railway system, and their shopping supermarket supplies as well. You got America, they've got them Amazon stores now, where you don't even have to carry cash. You can just go in there and use the phone app to purchase goods. You know, there's no cashiers in the store. You know, it's all barriers and doorways and shit like that to get in and out of the stores. And the same thing with China, they're incorporating it as well, the RFID chip tags. You know, and if you saw the video, those two Edomites, the main Edomite that was traveling around, going from place to place, and then going to his friend's lab to try and test out different NFC and RFID chips, to see their frequencies and all that. You can see that it's not a light thing. This thing's it's live and kicking, man. Why? Because it's prophecy, and it needs to be fulfilled. Because 2/3 are they're definitely gonna run to the so-called white man, to take that chip, which the Lord's gonna destroy them. This is Isaiah 36 and 6. It says, "Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed." What does that represent? The reed represents the chip on Egypt, which Egypt represents America, man. Today, it says, "Whereon if a man lean," it says, "it will go into his hand." And that's what 2/3 are going to do. They're going to lean on this government, this American government, in the time of Jacob's trouble, in the time of disparity, in the time of civil unrest, and they're going to take that chip without question, man. Because why? Because they're faithless, and they don't believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua because they don't know him right now, man. So they're gonna the only person they trust in, and because they seeing is believing with them, they trust in tangible goods. So when this white man flaunts that new chip system in their face, talking about convenience of it, these jakes are gonna go running. Says they're gonna put their trust in this devil, man. Says, "Whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand," and that's man, woman, and child, man. Says, "And pierce it." So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So who's the modern day Pharaoh, man? Esau, so-called white man, man. And in the time of Jacob's trouble, a lot of people are going to be leaning on the government for answers, man, through that order abkeo, crying out for FEMA and all that. And when the economy and shit crashes, these devils are going to lean, these devils is going to be the perfect opportunity for them to push forth this mandatory chip taking, man. And they already got the laws on the books. They're just going to, put it out there for the masses to force it on the masses, basically, man. And it's in the scriptures too. It says, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, that no man might buy or sell. Brothers know the scripture in the verse, so I ain't going to read that, but I'm going to read one more scripture and then close out, because this devil's only going to get so far. I'll read one more actually, I'll read two more scriptures. It says, Isaiah 31 and 1, it says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and that's 2/3 of our people," because we're in a land of bondage right now, which is America, under that American system, and we're all, modern day corporate slaves right now. We ain't got yokes of irons on our necks no more, but we're still corporate slaves unto this day, man. Whether you're born into the system or you die, you're still, we're still corporate slaves, and that debt gets carried on to your, to your family members, man. They got something called, what's that term called again? Inheritance tax, I think it's called, when a person dies, man, and your family has to pay that shit off when a person in the family dies, like a parent, or one of those people in the families. We call it inheritance tax, man. So we're born to a system of debt and we die, and the debt lives and carries on. So Isaiah 31 and 1, it says, "Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help," it says, "and stay on horses and trust in chariots." Yeah, man, we're, because the lights are still on in society. We get to run around doing do as thou wilt type spirit. people in the midst of folly and mirthdom, and you got, you know, the chariots, you know, you got the police, you got the armies and all that there. People feel, you know, content with that, man. They feel complacent with that, man. They get comfortable quick. So, you know, but what happens when all that shit disappears, man? And there's all anarchy in the streets and martial type law. They ain't gonna have no answers, man. And that's when people are gonna be bugging the fuck out. But the men of the Lord are the only ones that are gonna be assuring that day, because it's the fulfilling of the Lord's word. And we're gonna be have faith that the Lord's gonna protect these men, man, have that hedge over them through the angels, man. It says because they are many. It says, and in horsemen. It says because they are very strong. Right, because America's known for that American army, you know, and they think they can never be taken down. But they're all gonna get destroyed in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Most High's judgment in the time of World War III, man, over there in the Middle East. The American armies are going to be destroyed, and America is going to be totally destroyed. The land of America is going to cease to exist. It says, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel. Yeah, they don't look to their power, man. 2/3, they don't seek after Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Only the elect, the men of the Lord, are the ones crying out, you know. And I'm waiting for the Lord to return to deliver his elect. It says, neither seek the Lord. Yeah, right, because we, you know, got the men of the Lord out there on the highways and byways. As the Lord said, go into highways and hedges and compel them to come in. Talking about who? The elect of Israel. But the majority of Israel, meaning the 2/3, they don't seek after the Lord, man. They put their trust in what they see, the tangible goods. So in the time of Jacob's trouble, when this devil pulls out that chip, these jakes are going to go running, man. In 2/3, you're going to get your lights put out, man, by nuclear fire. You know, you're going to be part of that second death. You're going to be swimming in that lake of fire, man, doing backstrokes and all of that. Okay, so I'm going to read the last verse and then close out, man. Because this devil's only going to get so far, but, you know, he thinks he's going to be, his kingdom's going to rule forever, but the Lord's going to stop his mouth, man. He's going to destroy him and put his lights out, man. And, you know, the lights of the wicked shall be put out, as it says in Job, the 18th chapter, it says Job 5:12. It says he's disappointed with the devices of the crafty, just talking about the global elites, the so-called Jewish bank rat families that are ruling right now, mainly the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all that. It says so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise, but what they're going to do is the Lord's going to let them get so far, and they're going to push that mark of the beast, which they're doing right now. You know, slowly but surely they're going to make it mandatory around the 4 winds through the next global mass attacks that's going to affect the financial, you know, and economic structure of their empire, and they're going to have to set up that new monetary system, especially going through these trade and tariff wars that America and China are going through now. That's affecting the economy right now, the American economy, and it's fucking up their stock markets and all that. It's only going to get worse, man, and this could all lead to the, you know, global economic collapse, and that's going to be worse than 2008. You know, it's going to be a greater depression than ever before, you know, and that's why they're going to have to push out this new financial and incorporate everyone in that one global Orbis Unum, one world order, man. NWO, the New World Order system, man. Which, you know, but the Lord's only going to let them get so far, as I said. And then as soon as they push out that chip, things are going to start moving lightning fast, like Apostle Tahar always says. And the Lord's going to come and deliver his elect and destroy the kings of the earth, man, mainly Esau. So anyway, I'm going to quit rambling on. So to close out, give all praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Brakatam to the hopeful elect. Until next time, I'll say shalom.